Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another online pub quiz with the two fellas. This is pub quiz number 20. Pub quiz number 20. Yay! Let's look back at some of the highlights of the last 5 months of online pub quizzing. Well, that was all of them. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to anybody that's new. Welcome to the Two Fellas Online Pub Quiz. As I've said twice already, this is online pub quiz number 20. Where the excitement is comparable to the movement Sophie Ellis-Bextor still has in her face. This week we have 4 rounds, as ever. Our rounds are our easier round, followed by our theme round, which is on great women. Followed on by that is our music round, where we'll listen to a selection of YouTube's best covers of popular songs. Then finally, after all of that, we'll move on with our harder round. At the end of all of that, we will see who will reign supreme. If last week's winners, who stormed away, don't fucking clap, will remain top spot, or will the resident winners, the House Martins, reclaim their perch? All of that to come in the next 2 and a bit hours of fun. Hope you've got your teams ready. It's 8 people maximum per team. No way of policing it. It's just in good spirit. If you enjoy this pub quiz, don't forget you can donate to keep the Two Fellas Brewery and Pub open via PayPal at donate@twofellas.beer. And if you are one of those lucky people who either want to travel to pick up a pizza or beer or are on Lieferando within the 1.5 kilometer radius of the pub, you can order pizza and beer. There's nothing more to say than that, is there? That's pretty much it. Check in the description below for all the links for the rounds. You will find the links will progressively open up as the pub quiz moves along. Yeah. So, yeah. Say hello in the chat. Nice to see some names, familiar names popping up here. Hi, Anna. Welcome back, Anna. I don't think you were here last week. Edward, nice to see you. Catherine Monelli, hello to you. She does actually normally have the sound on, so I can probably get away with that. Manuel, good evening. Badimas Index, welcome back. Nina, good to see you. Sophia, welcome back for another week of pub quizzing, hey? So, yep, drop a message in the chat and let us know you're here. If there are any new teams, also welcome. A couple of things that we go through at the beginning of the quiz. One of the most important things as we go through, we are one of the very few online pub quizzes that actually marks papers. So for that, one of the most important things to help Mike, one of the two fellas, to go along in marking this is to make sure that your name, your team name throughout this quiz remains identical. That means the same capitals and the same spacing and the same exclamation marks. So don't make your team name too complicated. What I suggest you do is that you write down your team name, then copy and paste it into a notes, and then throughout the pub quiz, you can just copy and paste that back into the field, and that will make marking at the end of the quiz much, much speedier. Mike is also posting the links to the rounds in the chat as well, so in case you don't want to go to the description, you can find that. If you miss a question throughout the quiz, you can always type into the chat to let us know that you've missed it, and we will read it out again. Or you can use the bar at the bottom of the video and scroll back, and you will be able to use the YouTube video playback to see any of the questions that you've missed. So without further ado, get that round 1 answer paper opened up and let's get a move on. So, as I said, round 1 is our easier round for any new team. That is very purposely put because the easier round may not be that easy. At the end of the round, Mike also does an average score, and that will give you an idea of how well you're placing. So if you keep a little mark of yourself, you can keep track of yourself. Maybe some of the surprises towards the end, though. Right, so easy questions. Round 1. Round 1, question 1 is, what was the name of Ross from Friends' first wife? Question 1, what was the name of Ross from Friends' first wife? Good evening, Suze. So question 1, nice and simple. What was the name of Ross from Friends' first wife? That's your question 1. Only 39 more to go. All right, let's move on. Question 2. Identify this city. I will make that bigger as well. So which city is this? So identify that city. Will we get to play the pub quiz live someday? I hope so. Oh, just have to wait and see. So which city is that? That's your question 2. I'll give you a clue on this one. It is on the European continent. So don't look any further than the European continent. All right. Question 3. Who authored Of Mice and Men, East of Eden, and The Grapes of Wrath? Who authored Of Mice and Men, East of Eden, and The Grapes of Wrath? So, von Mäusen und Menschen. Früchte des Zorns. And Jenseits von Eden. So, who authored Of Mice and Men, East of Eden, and The Grapes of Wrath? That's your question 3. Question 4. Identify this film star before they were famous. Sorry, who is that? Who is that person in this photograph of them before they were famous? Popular star for a while, before he became a bit of a wet fish. So identify this film star before they were famous. Also a star of television as well. So that's your question 4. Who is that film star before they were famous? Question 5. After her former record label Big Machine sold the rights to her work, which singer is to release re-recordings of her first 6 albums starting later this year? So question 5, after her former record label Big Machine sold the rights to her work, which singer is to release re-recordings of her first 6 albums starting later this year, first of which is rumored to be in April. So that's your question 5. On with question 6. What does an ornithologist study? What does an ornithologist study? Ornithologe. So what does an ornithologist study? That's your question 6. Let's move on. Question 7. Which music artist launched his Ziggy Stardust stage persona in 1972? So, which music artist launched his Ziggy Stardust stage persona in 1972? Question 7. Which music artist launched his Ziggy Stardust stage persona in 1972? On question 8. In the popular cartoon Rick and Morty, what is Rick's last name? In the popular cartoon Rick and Morty, what is Rick's last name? That is your question 8. On with question 9. What links the national anthems of Spain, Bosnia-Herzegovina, San Marino, and Kosovo? So question 9 is what links the national anthems of Spain, Bosnia-Herzegovina, San Marino, and Kosovo? So question 9, what links the national anthems of Spain, Bosnia-Herzegovina, San Marino, and Kosovo? And finally, question 10. Which European office did the new Prime Minister of Italy, Mario Draghi, hold between 2011 and 2019? So which European office or which office of the EU did the new Prime Minister of Italy, Mario Draghi, hold between 2011 and 2019? That's your question 10 and your final question of this round. You have 6 minutes to get your answers in, so answers in by 2032. Make sure you click submit on your answer papers by 2032. If you need any questions repeating, as I said at the beginning, you can either scroll across the bottom of the screen and find them, or if you want me to do it or Mike to do it, just type into the chat and I will answer them for you. I'll either paste the question into there or read it out. Mike is taking bets on what the average score for the round is. He's thinking slightly higher than last week. I think last week's round 1 we had an average score of 6.8, and he's thinking between 7 and 7.5. I'm going to go with a 7.7. Can you see the picture again? Of course you can. It's on the European continent, or as Marcus so helpfully pointed out, it's on continental Europe. It's on the continent of Europe. There we go. It looks somewhat like Berlin's dog head of the ring barn there with its outer motorway system. Some sort of old Baskerville sort of dog with those droopy cheeks. Less than 3 minutes to get your answers in. Time disappears quickly. So make sure you click submit before 2032. That's when they will lock, and we will run through the answers to round 1 before moving on to round 2, which is our theme round. Okay, less than 2 minutes to get your answers in. Okay, if you haven't clicked submit, click submit now. If you don't click submit, your answers will not be accepted. So you need to click submit now. Right, the round 1 answers. So Mike is now locking all of the answer papers, so he won't be able to submit anymore. And then as we start here, he'll be marking away And very soon, I'm sure we'll have an average score for that round. So, answers for round one, our easier round. The first name, the name of Ross's first wife and friends was Carol. The city that you see there is St. Petersburg. John Steinbeck wrote Of Mice and Men, East of Eden, and the Grapes of Wrath. That person was Jason Momoa. The picture of the person before they were famous. It was Taylor Swift who has planned to re-release all of her prior work due to the fact that it was sold by Big Machine to somebody called Scooter or something. 6. An ornithologist studies birds. David Bowie launched his Ziggy Stardust stage persona in 1972. The last name of Rick in Rick and Morty is Sanchez. There are no words in the Spanish, Bosnia-Herzegovinian, San Marinan, or Kosovo anthems. And finally, question 10. The new Italian Prime Minister held the President of the European Central Bank position between 2011 and 2019. So those are the answers to round one. We will now swiftly move on with our theme round. Our theme round still says animation on it. It's not animation, it is Great Women, or their theme around, roughly. So, let's get on with it. So round two, question one. In which modern day nation was Marie Curie born? So in which modern day nation was Marie Curie born? That's your question one. All links for the rounds are in the description below. So which modern day nation was Marie Curie born in? Obviously that, or whatever, you can figure out for yourselves. That's question one. Question two. Greatness is not measured by what a man or woman accomplishes, but by the opposition he or she has overcome to reach their goals. Is a quote by which American civil rights and women's rights activist who headed the American National Council of Negro Women for 40 years. So greatness is not measured by what a man or woman accomplishes, but by the opposition he or she has overcome to reach their goals, is a quote by which American civil rights and women's rights activist who headed the American National Council of Negro Women for 40 years. some time to debate that amongst yourselves. Question 3 is, which queen was described as Napoleon's most beautiful enemy? So, which queen was described as Napoleon's most beautiful enemy? Well, apparently you found the easier round quite easy. Mike seems to say that the average score was 8.4. Wow. Apparently I need to make you work harder next week. Question 3, which queen was described as Napoleon's most beautiful enemy? Oh, 8.1. Reevaluated. 8.1 is the average score. Very high average score for round 1. Probably actually where it should be, though. So question 3, which queen was described as Napoleon's most beautiful enemy? Let's move on. Question 4. Last year, Michelle Obama launched her own podcast entitled what? Titled what? It's entitled to something. Last year, Michelle Obama launched her own podcast. What was it called? What's the name of Michelle Obama's podcast? That's your question 4. Yeah, oh, some interesting responses for the Jason Momoa question there. Somebody thought it was a young Burt Reynolds or a young George Clooney. Very interesting. And on to question 5. If greatness is measured by titles won, which of the Williams sisters of tennis fame is most successful? So, if greatness is measured by titles won, which of the Williams sister of tennis fame is most successful? So if greatness is measured by titles won, which of the Williams sisters of tennis fame is most successful? Is your question 5. The dog's made an appearance for the first time in many weeks. Hi, doggo. Question 6 is next. Whom does Hans-Georg Fanmuller capture in this 1954 caricature? So whom does Hans-Georg Fanmuller capture in this 1954 caricature? So whom does Hans-Georg Fanmuller capture in this 1954 caricature? That is your question 6. On to question 7. Ugh. With what is Ada Lovelace, born in 1815, died in 1852, accredited as writing the first of? With what is Ada Lovelace, born 1815, died 1852, accredited as writing the first of? That's your question 7. The dog doesn't usually come over when I'm doing the pub quiz. She normally stays on the other side of the room. That's quite. I think she just came over for a head scratch. Wait. Oh, it's a little face. Thought it looked like some palm trees on a desert island there in the chat. So question 7, with what is Ada Lovelace, 1815 to 1852, Accreditors writing the first of. That's your question 7. On to question 8. Ugh. Name this woman who supposedly founded Prague and after whom a minor planet, which is number 264 after her name, is named. So name this woman whom supposedly founded Prague and after whom a minor planet, number 264, is named. The dog will run away as soon as I stand up, so I'm going to enjoy the fact that she's actually come over for once. Giving me side eye as well. So 8, name this woman whom supposedly founded Prague and after whom a minor planet, number 264, is named. Let's go on to question 9. Name the author of Researches on the Theory of Elastic Surfaces. You've got it in French on your screen. A French mathematician, physicist, and philosopher who, when the Eiffel Tower was constructed, was not included amongst the 72 great names of French science inscribed on the building because she was a woman. So name the author of the Researches on the Theory of Elastic Surfaces, a French mathematician, physicist, and philosopher who, when the Eiffel Tower was constructed, was not included amongst the 72 great names of French science inscribed on the building simply because she was a woman. A minor planet, I don't think, is the same as a Zwerg planet. Rather, it is simply a Klein planet. As what is the purpose of that number? I have no idea. The number is the name of that woman. The name of the minor planet is the name of that woman, followed by the number 264. As to how that's accredited, I have no idea. So question 9, there on your screen. We'll go on to question 10. With what household invention was Melita Benz granted a patent for by the Kaiserliche Patentamt in June 1908? So with what household invention was Melita Benz granted a patent for by the Kaiserliche Patentamt in June 1908? And those are your 10 questions for round 2. Have your answers in by the top of the hour. Have your answers in by the top of the hour. Once again, if you need any questions repeating, just let me know. And either myself or Mike will repeat the answers in the chat, or I'll repeat it on the feed. My clue on number 10 is that I use Melita Benz's invention at least twice a day. I'm going to take a very short break. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Mike if you need anything repeating. Less than a minute to get your answers in. Click submit as soon as you can. All right, you should be clicking submit now. Dog's leaving. Right. Hopefully you've all clicked submit now, and I can start going through the answers. Wait for that to tick over on the clock. Okie dokie. The answers for round 2, that was our theme round, are as follows. Marie Curie was born in Poland. Then it was the Russian Empire. Today it's Poland. 2, greatness is not measured by what a man or woman accomplishes, but by the opposition he or she has overcome to reach their goals. That was a quote from Dorothy Height. The queen that was described as Napoleon's most beautiful enemy was Queen Louisa of Prussia, the wife of King Friedrich Wilhelm III. Last year, Michelle Obama launched her own podcast. It is entitled, The Michelle Obama Podcast. Nice and simple. 5, if greatness is measured by titles won, the Williams sister that is most successful is Serena. The lady that was portrayed in the caricature there is Marlene Dietrich. Ada Lovelace is credited with writing the first computer program. So there you go, all the way back then. The podcast No Such Thing as a Fish, love to keep mentioning it. Not quite sure how the accent on this word works, but the woman that is pictured is who supposedly founded Prague, and after the minor planet, asteroid, or Klein planet 264 is named, is Lubuza. I really don't know how that accent works. The author of researches on the theory of elastic surfaces is Sophie Germain. She's also buried in the cemetery that we covered in one of the questions a couple of weeks ago, the famous cemetery in Paris. And Melita Benz invented or was granted a patent for the coffee filter from pre-cut paper, the circular coffee filter that you put into your normally Melita branded thing that you put on top of your cup, and then you put your coffee grains in and you pour your water through. Nice and easy. I still have the brand Melita today. Though they were based once in Dresden, they were fortunate enough they moved their company to West Germany. Next round is the music round. Now, the music round. There are 10 songs, 10 covers of songs you are going to hear. Those 10 songs, I want you to name the original artist and the song name. And hopefully, if we have the right round set up, you should have an answer paper that allows you to do that. So if you could all go into the answer paper now for round 3. Click on it and see if you've got the right form, which has got the split questions, two answer areas for question 1, 2, etc. onwards. And then there is also a theme that ties everything together, or rather a connection that ties everything together. It is not an easy connection. You do have to dig a little bit for it. So one more time, I need the artist and the song name. This should be right at the very bottom of the sheet. Hopefully there's an extra field that has the theme in it. Has a field 11. Okay, so there isn't a field for 11. So give us one moment to see if we can add that. Right. Just give us one moment. We'll get the theme round area fixed for you. So just as Mike is adding in that extra field for themes, the theme, as I say, is it's not obvious. You really have to look for it. So there should be 20 fields. Refresh your page if needed and it should pop up, and then we'll get going. With the music round, you are... the dog's asleep. With the music round, you hear every song once, and then you'll hear them all again. So here is your music. So artist and song name.
I'm gonna fight 'em off. She's got both hands in her pocket, and she won't look at you, won't look at you. She hides through love, super feel. She's got a halo around her finger, around you. You know that I love you, boy. Hot like Mexico, rejoice. At this point I've gotta choose, nothing to lose. And don't call my name, don't call my name.
We skipped a line, fandango, turned cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kind of seasick. The crowd called out for more. The room was humming.
This is a tricky situation. I've only got myself to blame. It's just a simple fact of life. It could happen to anyone. You win, you lose. It's the chance you have to take with love. Oh yeah, I fell in love, but now you say it's over and I'm falling apart.
Steal my heart and hold my tongue. I feel my time has come. Let me in, unlock the door. I've never felt this way before. Wheels just keep on turning. The drummer begins to drum. I don't know which way I'm going. Don't know which way I've come.
Do I attract you? Do I repulse you with my queasy smile? Am I too dirty? Am I too flirty? Do I like what you like? I could be wholesome, I could be loathsome. Guess I'm a little bit shy. Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me without making me try? I try to be like Grace Kelly, but all the looks were too sad. So I tried a little Freddie. I'm an identity mad. Bow. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violence.
I've exposed your lies, baby. The underneath's no big surprise. Now it's time for changing and cleansing everything to forget your
Wake from your sleep, the drying of your tears. Today we escape, we escape.
Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill today? Mr. Kirk, Dexter's in school. I'm not afraid he's not, Miss Fishpaw. Dexter's truancy problem is way out of hand. The Baltimore County School Board have decided to expel Dexter from the entire public school system. Oh, Mr. Kirk, I'm as upset as you to learn of Dexter's truancy, but surely expulsion is not the answer. I'm afraid expulsion's the only answer. It's the opinion of the entire staff that Dexter is criminally insane. Yeah. That boy needs therapy. Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Purely psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Lie down on the couch. What does that mean? You're a nut. You're crazy in the coconut. What does that mean? The boy needs therapy. I'm gonna kill you. That boy needs therapy. Play the kazoo. Let's have it tune. Now when I count to 3.
Now you have the pleasure of listening to all of that again.
pocket. And she won't look at you, won't look at you. She hides through love, super feel. She's got a halo around her finger, around you. You know that I love you, boy. Hot like Mexico, rejoice. At this point I've gotta choose, nothing to lose. And don't call my name, don't call my name.
We skipped a line, fandango, turned cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick. The crowd called out for more. The room was humming harder as the ceiling.
This is a tricky situation. I've only got myself to blame. It's just a simple fact of life. It could happen to anyone. You win, you lose. It's the chance you have to take with love. Oh yeah, I fell in love, but now you say it's over and I'm falling apart.
Steal my heart and hold my tongue. I feel my time has come. Let me in, unlock the door. I've never felt this way before. Wheels just keep on turning. The drummer begins to drum. I don't know which way I'm going. Don't know which way I've come.
Do I attract you? Do I repulse you with my queasy smile? Am I too dirty? Am I too flirty? Do I like what you like? I could be wholesome, I could be loathsome. Guess I'm a little bit shy. Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me without making me try? I try to be like Grace Kelly, but all the looks were too sad. So I tried a little Freddie. I'm an identity mad, but I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violence.
I've exposed your lies, baby. The underneath's no big surprise. Now it's time for changing and cleansing everything to forget your love.
the drying of your tears. Today we escape, we escape.
Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill? Is Dexter ill today? Mr. Kirk, Dexter's in school. I'm not afraid he's not, Miss Fishpaw. Dexter's truancy problem is way out of hand. The Baltimore County School Board have decided to expel Dexter from the entire public school system. Oh, Mr. Kirk, I'm as upset as you to learn of Dexter's truancy, but surely expulsion is not the answer.
Okay, you lucky people, you have the entirety of the song to listen to.
It's the
but
opinion of the
have your
entire staff
answers
that
in
Dexter is
by 32 minutes past.
insane. Yeah. That boy needs therapy. Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Really? Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Lie down on the couch. What does that mean? You're a nut. You're crazy in the coconut. What does that mean? The boy needs therapy. I'm gonna kill you. That boy needs therapy. Play the kazoo. Let's have it tune. Now when I count to 3. That boy needs therapy. He was white as a sheet, and he also made false
Amazing, this
teeth.
person recorded
And
this
matches
before
all.
lockdown.
Business continues below. And you know what? Did I ever tell you the story about cowboys and midgets and the Indians and the frontier psychiatrist? I felt strangely hypnotized. I was in another world. Thank you, Capis. Hey, 13 viewers. I hope you don't decide on leaving us because this is too scary.
Well, that was enough of that. I got a bit bored of that. So there we go. You've got 2 minutes to get your answers in, and then we'll swiftly move on with the answers. Don't forget there's a theme that's worth a bonus point that ties everything together, but you have to dig deep to find it. I've never heard, before this pub quiz, I've never heard of Gabe the dog. Ever remind me during the week and I will listen to some and see if I can put it in the quiz. Alright, start clicking submit, get your answers in. I'll give you another minute. Get your answers, click submit, and I'll very quickly run through the answers to that round. I'm not going to play it again. Let me get the answers up. Okay, so click submit now. I'm going to start reading the answers out. If you don't click submit now, you'll be locked out. So, what did we have there? We had the White Stripes with Seven Nations Army. Followed on from that, we had Lady Gaga and Alejandro. Song 3 was Procol Harum with A Whiter Shade of Pale. Then that was followed by Queen and It's a Hard Life. Then going on from there was Coldplay Until Kingdom Come. Then Mika, number 6 was Mika and Grace Kelly. 7 was Muse, Plug-in Baby. Radiohead was Exit Music for film. 9 was Pet Shop Boys and Go West. And then finally, it was the Avalanches and Frontier Psychiatrist. What was the theme linking them all together? Is they all have sampled or have parts of their songs which are taken from classical music. The White Stripes, Seven Nation Army is from Bruckner's Fifth Symphony. Alejandro by Lady Gaga references Victorio Monti's Cáceres. Then A White Shade of Pale is similar to Bach's Air on a G string, or takes Bach's Air on a G string, etc., etc., all the way down to through Rossini, Bach, Chopin, Pachelbel, and finally Frontier Psychiatrist samples William Wanton's Spitfire Prelude and Fugue. Okay, so there we go. Those were your answers for that. So let's move on. Let's move on with round 3. Oops. Okay, let's not move on with round 3 there. One second. Right. The harder round. Question 1. The Appian Way connected Rome with which city in southeastern Italy? That's your question 1. The Appian Way connected Rome with which city in southeastern Italy? Question 1. The Appian Way connected Rome with which city in southeastern Italy? It literally ends with a column in this city in southeastern Italy. Let's move on. Question 2. The Fields Medal is awarded for outstanding achievement in which field? The Fields Medal is awarded for outstanding achievement in which field? Like the scarecrow that won the Nobel Prize for being outstanding in its field. So question 2 is the Fields Medal is awarded for outstanding achievement in which field? Question 3. Question 3 is on which continent would you find the South Shetland Islands? So on which continent would you find the South Shetland Islands? So which continent would you find the South Shetland Islands is your question 3. On to question 4. What was the name of the British Secretary of State for War, famous for the "Your Country Needs You" posters, who died after his ship hit a German mine off the coast of Scotland as he was on his way to a meeting with Tsar Nicholas II? So what was the name of the British Secretary of State for War, famous for the "Your Country Needs You" posters, who died after his ship hit a German mine off the coast of Scotland as he was on his way to a meeting with Tsar Nicholas II? So you naturally infer from that was during World War One. Subnote, the guy was a grade A prick. That's question. Sorry, that's question 4. On with question 5. Why, who me? Why, feet don't fail me now. Take me to the finish line. Oh, my heart it breaks. Every step that I take are the opening lyrics to which song and by which artist? So why, who me? Why, feet don't fail me now. Take me to the finish line. Oh, my heart it breaks. Every step that I take are the opening lyrics to which song and by which artist? Half a point for each. So question 5, why, who, me, feet don't fail me now, take me to the finish line, and my heart it breaks every step that I take, are the opening lyrics to which song and by which artist? 6, which fashion brand does this logo represent? 6, which fashion brand does this logo represent? Question 6, which fashion brand does this logo represent? On to 7. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance, is a quote often ascribed to which 5th century BC philosopher? So there is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance, is a quote often ascribed to which 5th century BC philosopher? Question 7. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance, is a quote often ascribed to which 5th century BC philosopher? Is your question 7. We'll go on to question 8. After 2 games, which country's team is currently top of the Rugby Six Nations table? So after 2 games, which country's team is currently top of the Six Nations rugby table? So question 8. After 2 games, which country's team is currently top of the Six Nations rugby table? Is your question 8. You literally have 6 countries to pick from. We'll go on to question 9. Name the composer. Bonus point if you can get the full name of the song. Now, this hopefully will work. So name the composer of this song, and I want you to, if you can get a bonus point if you name the full name of the piece of music. And finally, we go on to, hopefully, there we go. Finally, we go on to question 10. In which country would you find the Great Salt Desert? I've written it there in German. So question 10, in which country would you find the Great Salt Desert? Is your final question of this quiz, and very shortly I will play the music just one more time of that number 9. That's your question 10. I want your answers in by 2 minutes past the hour. And I will play the music from that previous question just one more time for you. So this is the music for number 9. Name the composer, bonus point, full name of the song, of the composition. Okay, so get your answers in by 20:02. Okay, start submitting your answers now. Get your answers in now. Submit your answers. Okay, going to move on to the answers. Where are we? There we are. There I am. Flicking in and out. Okay, so the harder round. The answers are the Appian Way connected Rome with Brindisi in southern eastern Italy. The Field Medal is awarded to outstanding achievements in mathematics. I think it's only awarded once every 4 years, and only to mathematicians who are below 40 years of age. The South Shetland Islands are on Antarctica. The name of the British Secretary of State for War, famous for the Your Country Needs You poster, was Lord Herbert Kitchener. A grade A prick because he ordered the execution of 11,000 injured Sudanese soldiers and also expanded the concentration camp system during the Boer War. Uh, 5, why me, who me, why, why, who me, why, feet don't fail me now, take me to the finish line. Is Born to Die, Lana Del Rey. The fashion brand here is Fendi. Never personally heard of it, but there we go. 7, there is only one good knowledge and one evil ignorance. That's Socrates. France is currently top of the table in the Six Nations rugby. Only by points difference, though. The composer was Friedrich Chopin. Nocturne in B-flat minor, Opus 9, number 1. Nocturne in B-flat minor is enough, I guess. Ugh. And 10, hang on. Iran is where you'll find the Great Salt Desert. So there we go. Those are all of your questions for the round. Mike is scurrying away and marking at the moment. And very soon, hopefully, we will have the results. So we'll just take another 4-minute or so break just as he correlates all of those answers together. And we'll be back to you. So use this time to refill your drinks, go to the bathroom, and then we'll be back with the final scores. So just give us a couple of minutes on that. So we're just waiting for the final scores to come in. In the meantime, thank you everybody for playing the quiz. If you have enjoyed the quiz, please hit the like button. That just helps us a little bit on YouTube with the algorithms. Probably not Ada Lovelace thought would happen with her computer algorithms one day. If you want to support the Two Fellas Pub Quiz, you can follow, or support the Two Fellas rather, you can follow the Two Fellas on Instagram, where you'll find all the latest updates from the Two Fellas. That will also include when they are opening again. You can follow them on Instagram at Two Fellas Beer. And also, if you follow on Instagram, you will find out the theme to the quiz earlier as well. That'll give you some time if you wish to prepare. You can. So follow the Two Fellas on Two Fellas Quiz on Instagram. You can also support the Two Fellas by donating through PayPal at donate@twofellas.beer, or if you are lucky enough to live in the area of the pub, they are also serving pizzas still and beer for takeaway. So you can pre-order through the website at twofellas.beer. All nice and easy there. I believe we are getting the answers in. All right, we've got the answers in. So what we are doing now is just... Oh, wow, we had 35 teams playing this week. So I'm just going to do the numbers so I can read it out nice and easy. So just give us 1 second. Okay, I'll do my... I'm going to zoom in a bit. I can do that, right? Okay, so the scores are as follows. For the Two Fellas Online Pub Quiz number 20, we have 35 teams playing for 26 places. In 26th place, started off strong, faded a little bit. In 26th place, we've got Lurtsy and Larry. In 25th place, we've got two teams joined on 16 points. We've got Butts, and D-Tools, or Die-Tools, depending which way you want me to read that. In 24th place, on 16 and a half, we've got Two Fellas One Pub. In 23rd place, Drinking Is My Night Job on 17 points, half a point ahead of them. We have Hexen Hunter in 22nd place. In 21st place, speaking quite truly, you can't speak French, in 18.5 points. In 20th place, Living La Vida Lockdown on 20 points, and 2 points ahead of those on 22. In 19th place and 22 points is Live or Let Die. In 18th place, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers on 22.5 points, who are joined also in 18th place by King Sperm. In 17th place, the Fundamental Quiztians have 23 points. Half a point ahead of them on 23.5 is Here Kommen die Mäuse. In 15th place, on 24 points, we have Fancy Jams. Just ahead of them, in 14th place, are two teams on 24.5 points. They are Oldham Ruffians and Dilly Pickle Parton. Then we have a number of teams in 13th place, all joined on 25 points. We have Beer with Us, Hairy Flappy Fanny Flutters, Jürgen Ono Udo, and Moscow Mule, all in 13th place. In 12th place on 20.5 points, we have Team Steve. In 11th place, Pandemic at the Disco on 26.5 points. In 10th place, Greater Women on 27 points. Half a point ahead of them is Gemüse, Gebu und the Jizzes on 27.5 points. 28 points then we have Cluing for Lux. In 7th place, Die Duxche Rotte on 28.5 points. In 6th place, on 29 points, I'm not going to say it properly, but Rolo Con Polo. In 5th place, Lynn's Friends on 29.5. Then we have, in 4th place, 3 teams vying for 4th place on 30 points. We have Bacon Salad, Christina Aguilera, and last week's champions, Don't Fucking Clap. Which brings us to our final 4 teams. 2 teams joined in 3rd place on 30.5 points. They are Iced Cabbage and Sexy Beer and Copious Coochie, which means we have 2 teams now for the top 2 spots. It's quite rare we have that. In 2nd place, climbing the table this week on 31.5 points is Ersatzschiedsrichtermannschaft Auswahl, which means our winners and returning to the top of the pecking order on 34 points are the House Martins. So, congratulations to the House Martins. But well done to everybody for playing. Thank you for turning up again for another lockdown pub quiz from the two fellas and myself. It's great to see so many people joining the quiz. If you have enjoyed the quiz, don't forget to hit the like, but also invite more people to play. If you invite more people to play, that will make sure or help to ensure that the pub can keep going, and also create a bit more competition. Maybe there's a team out there who will be able to knock the House Martins off for a few weeks at once. We don't know. But from me, thank you very, very much for playing. And also from the two fellas. And we will be back once again next week for another lockdown pub quiz. So thank you once more for playing, and have a good evening.